Welcome to Duality Check, the podcast where two brothers embark on a journey through the realms of scientific inquiry, the mysteries of the past, and the uncharted frontiers of spirituality. Join us as we explore the wonders of our world and beyond, all while embracing the roles of curious bystanders rather than experts. Together, we'll unravel the tapestry of existence, blending the dichotomies of knowledge and wonder. Get ready to question, ponder, and delve into the dualities that shape our understanding of reality on Duality Check. I'm Drew.
And I'm Dean, and welcome to episode 97.
97, whoop. A little late.
Yeah.
But better late than never.
Yeah, we're going through some growing pains here in the new setup, but yeah.
And just our busy schedules. And
I was out of town for 2 weeks straight for work.
Yeah, and then we were just drained, tired.
Yeah.
Watching the Super Bowl.
Family sicknesses.
Family illnesses again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're back. And we're here for episode 97, right?
Yeah, 97. What's new? It's been a minute.
Yeah. Not a whole lot. Just, taking care of the kiddos and trying to make sure everybody's healthy and back to normal as much as possible.
Yeah.
Trying to get as much work done as we can while everybody's feeling okay. So, how about you? How's traveling?
It was fine. I mean, I stayed in a hotel for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Came home on the weekend, but yeah.
Back to the hotel.
Yeah, and at least with this new company, they pay for all my expenses when I'm gone, so all my food and everything is just covered, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's almost like a forced savings.
Yeah.
Not really spending money on much.
For a couple of weeks. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good point, yeah. That's cool. Cool you get to do that. But yeah, what do we got planned for today? Not a whole lot specifically planned, but we got a kind of grab bag. Got some comments.
Yeah, I think there's a decent amount of UFO stuff today. I got some stuff on the Labyrinth in Egypt.
Okay.
And then got some interesting Anton Petrov videos that I thought were pretty cool.
What's he talking about? What's his topic?
So one of them is that time may be not real.
Ooh,
like from a scientific standpoint.
Okay.
From a physics standpoint. And then another one is about how human waste is like turning into rocks in certain parts of the world.
Really?
Like different types of minerals.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I thought that would be an interesting thing to check out.
That's kind of crazy to think about. We've been here long enough to where our poop is now turning into rock.
No, it's not even poop. It's like plastic and stuff like that.
But it's remineralizing back into the...
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Looks like we got some comments.
Couple, yeah. I think we only read one of Chris's last time.
Yeah, it was with the interstitial one.
Yeah. And then he said AI Phil Collins is sexy.
AI excels in music because it's a science.
Yeah. I mean
that's
I don't know that that's necessarily what AI excels at is science. Like it seems to be, it's funny, like it's starting to get good at things that are considered more scientific, but it kind of started best at like just language.
Right.
And we had AI image generators and stuff way before we had like AI making new scientific discoveries.
Yeah, and music, it seems like it's excelling at more of the nuances that we presented with. Like the language is like, I would consider it more nuanced.
Yeah, and maybe it's because that ineffableness of creativity that it's easier to fool us into like what's genuine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like if it does embarks in something creative as like, how do you define creative? Just as like something you haven't seen before? Well, AI may be able to do that just by applying math to everything it's trained on that humans have created.
Yeah. Or is the creativity the unseen of the art? It's the hours
prompting.
and but I mean of a human art, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
what makes human art beautiful? Is it the piece itself, or is it knowing some sort of backstory or history, or having some sort of insight into the artist's, process?
Right.
Maybe that makes a piece more beautiful than, say, just something that looks visually better.
For some people, that's definitely the case, right? Like for some people, they don't just listen to music. Like they want to research who the artist is and know their whole life story and know what their
Struggles
interpretation was with all the songs, and all that enhances the music.
You sure?
Some people, like, if the music comes on, is like, as long as your head
Just
can nod to the
bopping.
beat, then like,
It's good. Yeah.
So
it's up for an
and then what's the
individual's
difference
perspective.
between like beauty and creativity, right? Like something can probably be beautiful without necessarily being creative, and vice versa. Something can be
absolutely.
creative without being beautiful.
Well, because there is like that's why pop music is the way it is too. Because like, whereas there is a creative facet to it, it's cookie cutter creative in a sense of like the rhythms and the melodies and the lyrics are more.
There's like
there's a formula to it.
Yeah, there's a handful of chord progressions that get used over and over and over in pop music, and they'll just like translate it to.
But it sounds good. It's
different keys and maybe find
package it differently,
unique ways to play that chord progression, but it's still a chord progression that's in like a million songs you've heard of,
recognizable too. Whereas that it sounds good, it's poppy, it's catchy, but is that creative? Is that
right?
It's all up for the beholder, and that's why AI music is so interesting too, because it's like it's just there's a formula that they're sticking to, but they know, like, based on inputs, somehow it seems like they know how to hit, like they're hitting like a very soulful, like with me, like there's a lot of the same feelings I get when I listen to are just a really good album from somebody I really love. I'm getting some of that with the AI soul music in the way that they reimagine some of these songs into like 50s and but that could also be
Phil
part
Collins
of the formula.
one was really good. But that last one we did, the Hoosier, I don't know how you say it. But that one didn't do it for me as much. Like, it didn't feel like a cover of that song, even though there was the same lyrics.
They changed the melody to it. That's why.
It didn't feel like a take on the same song. It felt like just using the same lyrics in a whole different music piece.
Yeah, I agree. And that was the one we were burning Dave's eardrums out with, and we had to stop it early too. But that was a fun podcast with Dave.
Yeah.
Hope you guys all enjoyed it if you got to listen to it. If not, it's our last episode 96.
Has anyone tried fasting since?
Yeah, we'd love to know.
I've done about 2.5 days since then.
I haven't done mine yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
And then we got a comment from Marzimus on the last episode with Dave, and he said, "Holy moly, I'm 10 minutes in, and simply deconstructing the present information makes me feel akin to Sisyphus." Which is a mouthful, but I think that means he feels like he's pushing a boulder up and it keeps coming back down in his face.
By having to deconstruct the present information.
Yeah, I don't know.
Check in with us, Mars. You good? Sisyphus?
You didn't get squashed by the rock? All right, so you brought this a while ago. We never actually watched it. Why don't we check this out?
Says that this YouTuber managed to record the speed of light with a 2 billion FPS camera.
And this is what that looks like at 2 billion frames per second. Light moves about 6 inches or 15 centimeters per frame of this video. This beam of light is traveling at the universe's speed limit. Light in any reference frame will never move any faster or any slower than this speed. But what happens if I move the camera? This clip looks dramatically different. The light traveling away from the camera appears much slower, and the light traveling back towards the camera looks dramatically faster, like almost instant. And this...
Yeah,
that was the one thing, when you're seeing it bounce off and hit the mirror and come back, as it's getting to where it's going, it seems like it's already back.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how much faster it seems like it's going. But
yeah,
is that a real effect? Like, is it because maybe like if the observer effect, or like having to have like a conscious, like maybe moving further away from us is actually slowing down the light?
It's interesting.
Or is it just us recording it?
I think it has to do with it's kind of like a Doppler, but you can't, like when a car is coming at you,
mm-hmm.
it seems like it's higher pitched than when it's driving away, right? But I don't think light can do that because it has that hard speed limit. Well, I think it does do that. I think that's how we
it's just because of how fast it is. Yeah. It's because of how fast it is. They're seemingly, right, when you turn on a light switch, everything is lit up.
Yeah.
But what really is happening is it's a wave that's moving slowly throughout the room, bouncing and hitting different points. But by the time our brain can catch it, that's why you have to slow it down this much in order for us to catch that it's actually moving a little bit slower. And
I'm hoping in that video he like breaks down what
we gotta watch the full video. Maybe we can find it on a break here, and we'll maybe try to play some more of it. But I thought it was interesting because
I want to know the explanation for that. Yeah,
it seems very obvious, right? Like as the light hits the mirror coming back, it's already bounced all the way back and it's going
like
again,
instantaneous on the way back towards the camera.
It's crazy.
That's a trip. Dang. Dude, it's so cool. And this is like a recreation of one of the like famous, like I think we've all seen that famous like light going through a Coke bottle and stuff.
Yeah.
And this was a YouTuber who recreated that experiment.
Which is pretty incredible with a 200 billion, or not 200, 2 billion FPS camera, which is insane.
I watched a video recently about like how they made that work, and it was super cool. I couldn't like regurgitate any of it back to you, but
okay,
it was some fancy stuff. It talked a lot about like the technology of high frame rates and photography in general. And this guy who back in the day, like back during film only cameras, like in the late or early 1900s or something, he was able to film things like like quick flash motions.
Okay.
And I think it had to do with just keeping, like having a really bright light, but a light that was so fast of a flash that even though you couldn't engineer a camera to have a shutter speed that quick, because the light was that quick, it only allowed one
certain frame
moment.
Okay.
And so you get this like super sharp image, even back in the day with these old film cameras.
As long as you're able to keep everything very stable.
Yeah.
Clean and all that. Yeah.
This is where they could like photograph like bullets shooting through apples and stuff like that. Yeah. And there was some interesting technology that went into like how they knew when to snap the photo and everything.
That's interesting. Early photography. I would love to.
Yeah. But then they basically built on that, and it's some sort of combination of that classic technique with like modern digital technology is how they're able to achieve these like
massively
crazy frame rates. Because I think what they do is that's not a true video. It's that
it's a bunch of pictures
Yeah, it's
a ridiculous.
They do the same experiment over and over again, and then each time they're snapping it at a slightly different moment
and able
in
to
time.
piece it together to be every single individual frame,
Right?
As much as they can get,
Right?
Before all they're seeing is blackness or light.
Yeah, it was something weird like that.
Well, that makes sense because you'd have to. I would imagine there's not a camera that can do 2 billion FPS on a video.
Right.
That would have to be pictures like
it's
ridiculously
not
fast
even really truly a video. Like it's only a video in the fact that it's like frames following each other, but it's like it's that they shot that laser beam down that exact path for so many times and then just photo after photo they found each individual frame that they could record, and then they put it together. Yeah,
to look in a just like they did stop motion to early video.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool stuff, though.
Yeah,
that's really cool technology, and I'm impressed that a YouTuber.
Yeah, we're gonna. We'll try to find it on one of our breaks here, and you can play a little bit more.
Cool. This is a Alan Watts video I found this week.
Okay.
And I thought it was really cool, and I thought we might want to just talk about it.
Sure.
So let's check this out.
A religion. What he really came.
He said Jesus didn't come here to start a religion. Then.
Jesus, you see, did not come to earth to try and start a religion. What he really came for was this. His earliest followers were called the Way. Not a doctrine, but a direction. Meaning that they were following a path. And one of the most radical things Jesus ever said was this: the kingdom of heaven is within you. Not later, not after death, but here, now. And what he was pointing to was not worship of a person, but recognition of a presence. A living, breathing relationship with the divine, not through fear, but through awareness. After his death, however, institutions formed. And institutions, by their nature, seek control. So the message was subtly shifted from "you are one with God" to "God is separate and you must earn your way back." But the original invitation remains unchanged. When you step beyond dogma and listen deeply, you were never meant to follow a religion. You were invited to wake up, to realize that the divine you seek has been quietly living within you all along. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my, philosophy on spirituality and religion already.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that there is a relationship there with the divine, the source, whatever you might call it. But I don't think that there's any path that's going to tell you that there's only one way to do it.
Oh, well, there's lots of paths that'll tell you that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think following one of these paths that are going to tell you have to follow our way,
right,
in order to experience what it is that is the true feeling of being part of the whole, the one.
Yeah, and
I think everybody has an individual.
I like his distinction between religion and following a path, though. Like religion being this institution that you basically have to suck up to. It becomes transactional in order to
Well, and they're pushing.
You're begging them for the saving of your soul because they're the intermediaries between you and the divine, right?
Well,
and you need them to tell you whether or not God's gonna damn you, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back to right, if you ascribe to this kind of understanding, like I believe that Jesus was a person that lived on Earth and had a following. But everything that's written down in the Bible happened or was written down way after he died. So it's not, right, if you think that like he didn't come here to start a religion, his true, message to his followers early on, during his life, was not meant to be a religion as it is now, as you see religion is now. I believe that he, had a way of living his life that led him to see the world in such a way, and where they're going to tell you it's a prophet, it's more of just a realization and understanding, coming to, his own. And he said things that struck chords with people, and he could perform these miracles, but it was really his communication and relationship with the oneness.
Yeah, well, I think the whole point is there's this weird thing in Christianity where they make the person of Jesus like divine, right? Like the Son of God. Like he's something different than a human.
Right.
But I think the whole point is that he became a human, right? Like the whole point is, no, he was able to do all this stuff and be a human, which I think is
even more
trying
powerful
to show by example that, hey,
you can do this,
like,
as
you guys can do all this too, and you can talk to God just like I do. I think the whole point is that he isn't God's son any more or less than any of us.
It's just that he has made the connection, and he's been able to
showing the way,
get to the point where he can communicate freely with that entity.
So I think there's a lot of techniques you can use to do that, like meditation and for me, psychedelics gave me a conversation with God.
But like fasting and sensory deprivation, these are the things of old, and
just enjoying the life in the moment, and just
being fully tuned in to what's going on around you.
Taking joy in
I
the little tiny moments, like with your sons,
Absolutely.
There's God there.
There is nobody that can tell me that when they have that moment, like they're not experiencing true happiness. Like, sure, happiness is fleeting, and it's only as good as your mindset, right? But there are moments that everybody has on a daily basis that you can really see how beautiful life is, and you just are living in the moment, and it feels so good. Like, that's spiritual. But it's our detachment from the spirit, the spiritual nature of the world.
It's our
and
obsession with the material.
Well, and it's this like, and I know that there are ways of, doing this in a small community, but it's like you can't openly express your spirituality unless you're part of one of these like religions, because it's not that you can't. It's more stigmatized and more like dogmatic, taboo to say I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious, or because people don't know what to do with that, and they think you're just on a different path, like a. Well,
it's almost cliche these days. That's actually a really popular thing for people to say. I think the fact that church attendance has gone down so much, I think a lot of people have gone towards the atheist side, but I think a lot of other people have gone towards, I believe in these spiritual things, just I'm not gonna bow my head to the church and do what they tell me to do in order to pursue the spiritual path.
Yeah, like church attendance may have gone down, but spirituality might have gone up as a whole.
Yeah,
I feel like,
I wonder,
especially
if
in the new age,
on that. Yeah,
there's got to be I know in the majority of people that I come in contact with, I can, whether they tell me specifically or not, like you can kind of get a sense of whether they're kind of have a faith in something, right? Because even like famously said, like atheists are just as faithful in their ideals than anybody
they have
else,
the religion
right?
of science. Yeah.
But even that is derived from some physical nature of spirituality, whether it be metaphysical but science, I believe, like we've kind of had conversations about, like science is a new age aspect of the spiritual. Like it's like the ability to like put a name and a function to the crazy things that are happening in the world.
Yeah, no, I think throughout the history of science, there's been a lot of the top thinkers who have been spiritual, but I think the sort of modern materialistic scientific reductionist worldview is specifically trying to deny that there is spirit and that everything is physical.
But I think even that,
and that's what they try and teach.
I mean, that's all good and well, but I feel like there's more people in science nowadays. Much a religion
but
I think that was old. I think that's the old way of doing science too. Like I think there's a new wave of scientists that are going to be coming up.
But it's not like it dominates all the institutions yet. I think still the dominant worldview in the enterprise of science is this like reductionist materialism.
Well, they have the control and the power, over the narrative. But I would also say, like, I think that people are becoming, or
at least that's the institutional worldview that's being pushed.
Right. But I do think that individuals who are going through these programs are holding on to their spirituality and are able to see, especially when you talk about like quantum mechanics and a lot of like the bleeding edge physics, topics. Like there's a lot of spirituality topics and philosophical, questions to be considered at the bleeding edge.
Philosophical questions.
But that also bleed into like the potential, especially with the UFO topic and, just a lot of the, goings on of the energy and like.
Yeah, I mean, like the quantum stuff though, that's the thing is there's the worldviews, right? Like the Copenhagen interpretation, like the main interpretation is that it's not an observer that is collapsing the wave function. It is just a moment of measurement. So they've switched away from using this like term that like that some sort of consciousness or some sort of observation affected the wave function, and now they use the term in order to they use the term measurement, right? So as soon as there's a measurement involved in the loop, that measurement can affect the wave function and cause it to collapse, to take out the sort of implication towards mystical or consciousness. But like, this is why I've been a really big fan of the Demystify Psi show on YouTube. Anastasia and Shiloh, they interview all these scientists, and they don't necessarily like they know a lot of history of the physics, and for them, you'll hear them talk about it. Like, but all these people who are doing the original quantum mechanics, like the original. Most of the like big people in it, a lot of them thought it had big spiritual or philosophical implications. It seems like more of a modern phenomenon to try and like use language to put that to the side.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting is the collapsing of the wave function happening by the measurement, but if all you're doing is recording it, I mean, whether or not you're measuring it is subjective, no?
Well, the thing is like the whole whether it acts like a wave or whether it acts like a particle. And then it acts like a wave until you put a measurement device to see which slot that it goes through. And as soon as you do that, it starts acting like a particle again. Right.
So it's only when you're looking at the final product.
It's like when you try and peek and see what it's actually doing
while it's doing
that causes the wave function to collapse, and now it acts like a particle again.
But yeah, the craziest part is that it was acting like a wave, but it collapses and actually seems to go back in time to collapse.
Yeah, there's the whole...
So
that's a different experiment that happened later. The whole delayed choice.
Well, because they recorded it after it went through the slit instead of as it was going through the slit. So they recorded what was happening after it went through this slit, which is still acting like a wave, and then you measured it or
I think you're talking about what's called the delayed choice quantum eraser or something like that, where they came up with a version of this test where
instead of watching it,
the measurement happens after, like they have some fancy way with like mirrors and that cause it so that the only way for it to know that it was being measured is if it somehow propagated that wave back in time and then went back to acting like a particle, which is the behavior they found, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it acts super strange. It's weird.
It's very weird.
And
the implications are still unknown, and the implications on material science and physical science.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. It depends on what school of thought of a scientist you're talking to, or...
Sure.
Like if you're going to a university course, chances are you're going to get the many worlds or the Copenhagen or one of these interpretations and not one of these ones that... But the thing is there is no proof yet. Like no one has it all worked out, and no one's...
And in the meantime, we get to come up with cool theories and speculate on random things.
Which pisses scientists off. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you found something we don't fully understand, and now you can just like insert all your spirituality and magic into this thing because we haven't proven it yet. So nothing we're saying has basis for you to say all this. But
it just gives them fuel to go and prove it and prove anybody wrong that may disagree. So we're helping science. But
back to the like Alan Watts point, like, I think this whole idea of religion versus your own path towards spirituality is super profound, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I think locally, like, meeting up with people who are like-minded or open-minded or...
Yeah, I was going to bring up
these conversations.
There was a friend of mine who back in the day, her and her friend, I guess there's this like some sort of church in town, Greater Sacramento. I don't know if it still exists, that was like a totally religionless church. Like it's open to anyone of any belief and is more like a way for people to come together and spend their Sundays in a community without
specific doctrine
pushing any particular religion on anyone.
And just people getting together weekly to do their prayers and to do their things that they want to do.
I don't know what it was called, and if it still exists, I would like to check.
If somebody knows,
if
somebody knows, or something like it in your area, let us know. Yeah, that'd be cool to check out.
All right, well, we're past 30. Why don't we take our first break?
Yeah, take a little break. We'll come back.
See you guys in a bit.
Enjoy.
Send your name into the atmosphere. Slept for days, induced my utmost fear. Went around the world and ate a flat. We tried to raise the sun and dreamt out loud on further shaded past. realign to save the love. Dove inside the jewel-encrusted sea, 20,000 leagues below. Dozing eyes in dueling custody, send me out in leaves afloat. Days induced my utmost fear, 'cause I mistook life for truth. Yeah, 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 I mistook life for truth.
Welcome back. I'm going to read a little passage here from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations.
All right.
How can our principles become dead unless the impressions in your mind which correspond to them are extinguished? But it is in your power continuously to fan these thoughts into a flame. I can have an opinion about anything, which I ought to have. If I can, why am I disturbed? The things which are external to my mind have no relation at all to my mind. Let this be the state of your effects, and you stand erect. To recover your life is in your power. Look at things again as you used to look at them, for in this consists the recovery of your life. Yeah, this kind of struck me when I just read the first sentence, where it says, how can our principles become dead unless the impressions in your mind which correspond to them are extinguished?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
it's kind of
powerful thought.
It's kind of saying that you need to keep thinking the things that you think that gives you the principles in the first place.
In order to
keep them from going dead, basically, from your principles from dying.
Well, and it's giving you context to what it is that you're experiencing, like if you're experiencing any sort of like dissolution of your own principles, it is not the fault of anything but your own thoughts.
Right.
And your inability to control your thoughts that is causing this discontinent or mismatch of values and principles in your life.
Yeah.
Right? It's not an external thing, is what it says here at the end. It says the things which are external to my mind have no relation at all to my mind.
Right.
Just because the thoughts in your head aren't the things that are actually, the
things that are happening in life
are not.
Don't control what happens in your head. You control what happens in your head.
Yeah.
Ideally, anyway, right?
Ideally. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that's
a cool
a
one.
good way of putting it. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I just flipped to it. So I just read the first sentence. I was like, okay, here we go.
Did you see that Obama was asked about aliens recently?
Again.
Yeah.
Really?
Check this out. Let me back this up.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
I feel like he's saying the truth there, but he's being cavalier and he's being kinda, I feel like he's saying what he felt.
Well, he said matter of factually that they're real.
Yeah, he did. And he said he's never seen them, but and then he also lended the fact that there may be some massive conspiracy where the president may not be read into certain things.
Well, he said they're not at Area 51.
He said there's no underground facility.
Yeah. So he didn't say they weren't other places that he knew about.
Right. Good point. Yeah.
And he's just saying, if they are at Area 51 in an underground facility, then that's being kept from me.
And that might be yeah.
But he left it wide open for them being anywhere else and him knowing about it.
Yeah.
Because he, like I said, he started with a confident they're real.
Yeah, they're real. Yeah. They're real. I haven't seen them. But they're real.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that?
Damn.
This is what Jesse Michael said.
God, just tell us already.
I know, right? He said, and then when he said they're real, an affirmative answer, unprecedented in the history of American presidency, you didn't ask, how did you know that?
No kidding to the interviewer.
Right?
God. Yeah, do better, man.
Yeah.
We need Jesse Michaels interviewing the president, not this other guy.
But also, like, based on the whole history of, like, ufology and, like, we know there's a conspiracy. So
it's just how deep is it? How far does it go? Who's lying and who's telling the truth? And when are we going to know any of it? Like, as a population? Like, it's all just far enough out of our reach that we're getting snippets and clips and this and that, and we're all just able to come up with our own ideas, and it just keeps perpetuating the constant,
Yeah. So then I got, this is what was this? Jim Semivan? What's this guy's name? Former CIA officer.
Mostly true alien stories.
Let's check this one out.
A former CIA senior operations officer just said from what he's seen, the reality behind disclosure would shatter everything we think we know about our existence, and it has nothing to do with little green men.
No, dangerous.
Semivan, who has spent decades in the CIA, trained to study perception, foreign technology, and intelligence anomalies, said on the Engaging the Phenomenon podcast, the real issue is that the alien phenomenon isn't just physical. It's something that interacts with perception, consciousness, and what he calls a reality running alongside ours. In other words, this isn't just about craft in the sky. It's about an intelligence that doesn't always behave like a nuts and bolts visitor. And here's where it gets complicated. Semivan has spent decades inside classified programs. So when he says the truth is indigestible, he's not talking about fear. He means the implications for psychology, religion, identity, even the nature of what it means to be human. And he says that's the part the public keeps missing. Now, since his appearance online, his comments are getting twisted into horror movie versions. Shadow beings, mind manipulation, entities stepping out of other dimensions. But that's not what he said. The actual point was this. The phenomenon might not fit neatly into spacecraft or creature categories, and that's why governments treat it carefully. Not to hide aliens, but because no one wants to break reality without a plan. So as pilots, scientists, and experiencers continue describing events that don't behave like conventional objects, Semivan's reminder is worth hearing. Disclosure is moving slowly, but it isn't just about confirming life elsewhere. It's about preparing people for a universe that may be stranger and more layered than we've ever been taught. Make sure to subscribe to
That's like the best. That's like the best excuse for keeping it quiet, in my view.
Is that it's too weird?
Is that it would literally shatter the reality of people, but that there is some sort of future where we can know and can be part of this. And it makes me hopeful for Chris Bledsoe's prediction here coming up soon.
Yeah.
In the next couple months.
Yeah.
And seeing if things shift and things change, right? And like, you know, I'm happy to know that these things are real and that my kids may experience the true fruits of these labors, but I would still like to know.
Totally.
You know? It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, do you think, I don't know. I feel like people have been trained already through Hollywood and science fiction and
Stranger Things.
Yeah, no one thinks it would be weird for aliens to exist.
I don't think anybody thinks it would be. And I know, okay. I think there are going to be a lot of people who think it's very weird.
Okay.
But I think that society as a whole, like people as a whole, in large quantities all over the world would be totally fine living in a world where there are aliens.
Yeah, well, let me qualify what I was saying then. I don't think people would be surprised if aliens being real meant that there was a species from another planet using physical craft to travel through space to visit Earth.
Sure. Okay.
That notion of the non-human intelligences actually being alien to our solar system and traveling the way we already are considering we would travel in the future, right?
Right.
But if it's not that, if it has to do with like different types of different types of dimensions, if it has to do with spirituality, if it involves religions and divinities and the nature
and like a different
of life
psychology
and death,
and like if the fact that like our thoughts are what creates matter, if that's the thing that we learn, that is in fact what is creating everything around us.
And if it's tied in with this like or this like telepathic phenomenon and remote viewing, and if all of this is sort of this weird tangled mess, you know?
Yeah. That would freak a lot of people out.
I don't think a lot of people are ready for that.
No, I agree. But I do think there's a lot of people who are. And I think that we should be slow, like we should be getting people on it much more than we are now. And we should be, you know, and all it would take was a couple of generations of teaching our kids to be okay with this and open with this, right?
Yeah.
And things would change quickly.
Pretty interesting, though. Yeah.
Just tell us.
I just listened to an audiobook, Matutis, what do they call it? It's not, hang on, let me search him real quick.
Matutis?
Yeah.
I've heard you say that name before.
It's a crypto-terrestrial hypothesis.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Crypto-terrestrials.
Yeah. And his whole book was about it being very unlikely that it is actually just, you know, little green men from the next solar system over traveling in a craft.
Well, like if there's one, there's many. There's not just, I think there, like that breaks the barrier. Like if there's one, there's going to be many.
Yeah.
And then it's to the level of their connectiveness, right? Like if they're like all telepathic and shapeshifters that can like blend in with society, and then all of a sudden like half your friends from the last 20 years are aliens, you know? And there's like, what was that movie?
Men in Black?
No, it was earlier than that, but it was a movie where the guy wears glasses.
Oh, yeah.
And then he sees the different creatures.
They
and
live or something?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they live. That was underrated movie.
Yeah, that's where the whole Obey clothing line brand came from, like all their artwork style and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And he puts on these glasses and you're able to just see the way the world really is and what they're really, all the subliminal underlying messages of everything.
Yeah,
that's
like
coming
these
off
billboards in Times Square, you put on the glasses and they just say obey, propaganda stuff, messages. And then
you can see
you
the
put it
creatures
on walking down the street and it's just people, and then you put them on and there's like weird aliens and stuff too.
Yeah, which is fascinating. But it's like that idea of like, all of a sudden our world is shattered. We're putting on these glasses. We can't see the world any other way anymore.
Yeah.
And all these things, there's telepathy, there's all these things going on, and like it would shatter.
Well, it's also really commonly reported in abduction phenomena and like people who have experiences with the entities to where like they can freeze your body and your motor control. Like they can pull information out of your mind. Like, it's pretty scary. Like if
the potential for that.
Right. Like if we learn that we're not alone and that these entities that are around, like they have the ability to just shut off your body.
Yeah.
And we don't have a way to protect you against that. Or maybe, see, that's the thing too, is like maybe there is.
Sure.
But I think if there is a protection for that, it's like down these like esoteric and spiritual paths of like
where you
learning.
have to like spiritually protect yourself from the control factor that they are able to like control you with.
Mm-hmm. But it makes you think of the like the interview with the reptilian, right? Where she was talking
Lacerda.
about. Lacerda, right? Which one was the reptilian one?
That was
there was an alien interview, and then the Lacerda files. Files. She was the one that was like a reptilian from underground, and said that that they can basically have all sorts of influence over humans, and that we basically can't stop them.
Yeah, basically our species isn't capable of it, but it doesn't. It sounds like we're not capable of it. It's just that in this current state that we're in, we are not using our capacities to our fullest. Was kind of her message. Like, you have these capacities, but you're not using them. You're easily controlled.
And Mac Tunney's, he favored the idea of it being a terrestrial phenomenon, of it being someone that we share the earth with, like the whole like Lacerda underground or ocean-based life. I
mean, what if like simultaneous reality is a true thing, and like the whole upside down is a real thing, and what you're really seeing is like the matter and the antimatter, the dark matter, and there's two sides of the coin. There's the yin and the yang. There's the physical experience and the non-physical experience all happening simultaneous. And there's whispers between, and there's different things that are happening in the non-physical realm as opposed to the physical realm. And maybe you're tapped into both. That's why we feel this duality within ourselves. You know, what if that's like, and like simulation theory is kind of all like wrapped into that a little bit.
Totally.
It's an interesting way. It's interesting. It just opens I love thinking about these things, thinking about the possibilities of them.
But you start to understand why maybe people wouldn't necessarily take well to it.
Of course.
Like, I think people would be ready to take well to a very simple, like,
alien coming in and being like, hey, we're just here.
You would just have to reassure them that they're not here to conquer us, right?
Of course, yeah.
But with all this extra added complexity and possibilities, and if multiple of these interpretations are actually the truth, like there is like divine entities, there are angels and demons, there are
aliens,
other dimensionals and time travelers and reptiles that have lived underground since the dinosaurs went extinct, and
exactly, and maybe they're all just on a different plane than us. And maybe tapping into that plane.
Or some of them are and some of them aren't. But yeah, that's a lot more to swallow.
I'm down though. Let's do it.
I've been meaning to show you this for a while. I came across it on Twitter. It's a UFO video supposedly
over Sacramento too.
Over Sacramento.
I remember when I remember seeing this video when this was first happening. It was during that last big storm that we had.
Yeah.
And it was, it to me, it kind of looks like ball lightning.
Yeah. I mean, it almost looks just like lights projected on the clouds from above.
Sure. But that's even weirder. What would be doing that?
Yeah. It's a pretty strange one.
Very strange.
And then Luke Rutkowski posted another one that just came out recently. I don't know who dropped this. That kind of looks like the whole drone, like New Jersey drone style.
It does look similar to that. Huh? Little triangle.
In fact, it could just be a drone from what we're looking at here.
Yeah, you don't see anything specific that gives you any other detail.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be behaving as erratically.
Yeah, there's not as many.
Like the last one we watched seemed to be super fast. It was going across the entire horizon right away.
Did you see that the New Mexico airspace got shut down for 10 days?
Yeah, I haven't looked into that at all. Have you heard anything about it? Or
I just heard there's just been a bunch of memes because there was
an airport got shut down.
Yeah, and I heard the audio when the air traffic controller was telling the pilots that were supposed to take off during the day and telling them about it, and they were like, the pilots were so confused. They're like, so how long is this? Ground. What is it? What they call it? Grounding or whatever. How long is the grounding? And they were like 10 days. And they were just 10 days? What is going on? And it was all of a sudden, there was no foreknowledge that this was going to happen.
Huh.
And I haven't heard anything else, but there's a lot of people just speculating on
Did they force planes
UFOs
to land at other airports and stuff?
Yeah, they closed it to all air traffic.
But planes that were in the process of coming to them, did they get redirected or?
I don't know. But I know that it was it seemed like it was a morning report, hey, this is what's going on. And we're grounding all flights.
Yeah. We should look. Yeah. You should
I think they
more
can.
Detail on that. Let's report on that some more because I don't know.
I think it's still
ongoing.
Heard about I think it's still ongoing. The actual 10 days is happening now.
I also got a little clip from James Fox. Let's check this out.
Question. I'd like to ask Giannini how long Giannini has known Italo.
Faz quanto tempo que o senhor conhece o Italo?
Desde que ele chegou em Varginha.
Ainda usava fralda.
Okay. So a long time. Safe to say a long time.
48 anos.
48 years.
48 years.
Você chegou menos.
Dr. Armando, how long have you known?
35 anos.
35 years.
35 years. How long have you known Italo?
35 também.
About 35 years too.
35 years. So, doctors, when he says he saw the creature in captivity at Regional Hospital, do you guys believe him?
Então, quando o Dr. Italo fala que ele viu a criatura em cativeiro, no CTI, vocês acreditam no que ele fala?
Com certeza. Deixa eu fazer uma pergunta. Doutor Cesário... Tem credibilidade para isso. Doutor Cesário e doutor Ito, já viram infecção bacteriana comum correr dessa maneira em 7 dias?
No. Dr. Italo, quick.
Yeah, so this is from his, he's working on another documentary about it.
This is Dr. Italo. He's the surgeon
surgeon.
The doctor that was on duty when they brought
who had a couple minutes alone with this thing in a hospital room.
Yeah.
And he was trying to treat it.
He was on Jesse's podcast, no?
James Fox was.
Well, I thought the doctor was.
Was he?
I thought I saw one with.
I think he might
had one
have
about-
taken some of James Fox's footage to
Maybe.
put on the podcast. I don't know that Jesse interviewed the doctor himself.
Maybe.
I just missed that episode. There was one.
He's got a couple out, and he's been putting out like member only ones, and then you'd have to like come back later, and he like retitles it and renames it, and like different. It's a different edit, but I think I didn't watch the whole interview yet, but that's interesting.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I think we're ready for another break. Why don't we
Sounds good.
come back in a bit?
All right, y'all. Enjoy this music. We'll be back.
We all have our own struggles, but at the end of the day, we're all the same. Struggling for change, alone in the rain, we're all the same. Yeah, struggling for change, alone in the rain, we're all the same. We all struggle at the end of the day, we're all the same. He walks alone in the rain, thoughts drenched in the pain, begging for change, and every other day it's the same as before. He walks alone in the rain, lost, broken in pain, and he strolls through the day with his head to the floor. He lives under the rain, under a bridge in the floor, couple boxes and crates, but he praises the Lord. He lost his leg in the war, so he walks with a cane, drugs in his veins, lost and deranged, alone in the rain. Struggling for change, alone in the rain, we're all the same. Struggling for change, alone in the rain, we're all the same. But at the end of the day, we all struggle at the end of the day, we're all the same. Yeah. He walks alone in the rain, ignoring the pain, works every day, struggling, hoping for change, pay mortgage and rent, double time and again, but he's gotta support, cases in court, collections knocking the door, but somehow he maintains, through stress and the pain, puts food in the place for his family of force. He crawled through the floors, he ran through the rain, jumped over the wall for a chance to make change, an everyday hero, and he never complains, he just walks through the rain and fights for his name. We all struggle in our own different ways, and at the end of the day, we're all just the same. It ain't fair, we share the same struggles in the fight. I know firsthand exactly what it's like to be stuck in the sand and nobody understands. To give a hand out to you, I dedicate you the truth. We're all the same. Some are old, some are broken. Struggling for change, alone in the rain. We're all the same. I'm afraid of the pain that you've been through. Yeah, struggling for change, alone in the rain. We're all the same. But at the end of the day, we all struggle. At the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all the same. We're all the same.
All right.
Welcome back.
Hope you guys enjoyed that.
We haven't pulled a tarot card in a while, so
Yeah, we're gonna do this again. So we're gonna shuffle up, come up with an intention.
I think I'm doing the same one I always do, which is to show us a card that will be something pertinent to us and to the listeners.
Or to the show as a whole.
All right, let's see what we got.
Oh, hey, come on back.
Got it.
All right, we got the upright. You want to hit that new zoomed in one? We can show them.
Oh yeah.
You want to?
This is a 2 or 3 of Pentacles, which I'll bring up on the screen. Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles.
The Pentacles.
Yeah. So that's what this looks like. So according to tarot.com, so we're seeing...
Is this a major or a minor?
It's minor. Looks like 3 people talking. It looks like a monk and a woman and some sort of page or something. He's like standing on a bench with an apron on. He's got something in his hand. I can't see what that is. Let's see. It's like a beaker. And they seem to be in the entryway of some sort of temple. There's a column, and there's the 3 pentacles as like part of the decorative stuff at the top of the column.
What was there? A 3? You
3,
said?
yeah.
Okay, found it. So the basic meaning for this, only on this card are the pentacles depicted in black. Either the personal needs, finances, and talents are ignored, or they are yet undeveloped or unnamed. This is about your own calling. Go deeper. One's vocation helps one up to great heights because one recognizes what lies hidden. Just as the genius Michelangelo remarked that the sculptor adds nothing to the stone, but simply liberates the figure shut up within it from its encumbered braces or encumbrances. Oh yeah, encumbrances.
Okay, that's interesting. So maybe this guy that we're seeing here, is that a chisel in his left hand and a hammer?
So it says...
So it looks like
he says he is the sculptor or the mason, a chisel in the left hand and a mallet in the right. He is working on the stone, perhaps a relief.
It looks like the monk and the woman are holding plans for...
Yeah, so it says they have basic values. The monk represents basic values and peak performance. Having a vocation can lead to great achievements because one is more committed. And then the nun represents vocation as with the monk next to her. As a fool, the figure underlines the aspects of freedom and the absolute. And then the crypt or the cellar that they're in, basic values, groundwork in the sphere of the pentacles, on the basis of these vaults, a mighty construction will rise up. How will your work contribute to it? So, as a card of the day, everyone has some summits that are waiting for him or her. Is kind of what it says. If we're using it as a card of the day.
Yeah. So on tarot.com, it says it's all about teamwork, mastery, and building something that lasts. This card shows up when you're being seen and valued for your skills and when collaboration is key. It's the energy of you bring the blueprint, I'll bring the tools, and together we'll make magic.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're learning from a mentor, sharing your expertise, or joining forces on a shared goal, this card reminds you that no one builds an empire alone. Respect, recognition, and good communication are the foundation here.
It says the 3 coins is the card of collaboration, skill building, and shared vision. It shows up when you're laying the groundwork for something meaningful. In the classic image, an artisan works on a cathedral wall while 2 figures, an architect and a monk, maybe look on with plans in hand. This isn't solo genius, it's teamwork, respect, and aligned goals.
And then upright, the 3 coins signal progress through partnership. Whether you're starting a creative project or learning a new craft or building a career, this card says your efforts matter, and so do the people around you. Expertise is valued, but so is communication. Acknowledge your strengths, your weaknesses, so that together you can fill in one another's gaps.
It's pretty insightful.
Yeah, that's really cool.
As in, we're doing a thing right now as a partnership.
Yeah. Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
And then, yeah, if it's reversed, then it says it can point to a breakdown in collaboration. Maybe egos are clashing, efforts are misaligned, or someone's not pulling their weight. It can also show up when you're doubting your abilities or not being taken seriously for what you bring to the table. You deserve to work with people who respect your contribution. This card, reversed, invites you to ask if you're being undervalued by the people or if possibly by yourself.
Okay.
In a yes or no reading, the answer is yes.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah,
good card.
That was a good card, yeah. We'll leave that.
It's a good one to come back on. Nice.
Sweet. All right.
What else you want to do?
I wanted to talk about this. This is about Chris Bledsoe's prophecy.
Okay. Red Panda Koala on X.
Yeah. So let's check out the video first.
Okay.
Exact alignment will happen in 2026 at Easter.
What will happen?
The star will, the alignment she told me about, that the star of Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge. Well, I had no idea if this was even possible, you know, but these astronomers run it through the machines and it comes out that that star is going to come up on the horizon in Easter of 2026. And from that point forward, they started remote viewing the state. Government did. And now you hear it all over TV. 2026, that's the big date. 2027, that year, something's going to happen. Armageddon, you hear it all over. You know, you hear it on TV. If you study, like, I've heard even, well, I won't say names, but
please do.
Well, you know Lou Elizondo, right? Lou's mentioned that date. A lot of people have.
Easter 2026.
Well, the year 2026. I gave him the specific time. And it was with Robert Grant that I told him about this alignment and all. And then he's like, oh my God. He's been looking for this ruby, this little ruby you have to find and place it between the paws of the Sphinx to make this event that he knows is going to happen in 2026. I said, Robert, it's not a ruby, it's the star of Regulus. And he looks at it, he's like, oh my God, it's the king's star. So what's going to happen, I don't know. But I think it's possible that's the return of
Christ.
Yeah. Or the lady and the whole heavenly host living with us, Jesus. That's the first time I've ever said that in my life, publicly. You're the first. Exact.
Damn.
Yeah. So then
I want to know if that's true, that
these are also posted.
The National Air and Space Intelligence Center's insignia is the Sphinx on a globe with a star looking like the Northern Star and a paper airplane looking thing.
Or could be a UFO.
Yeah.
Or just any sort of
But the fact that it's the Sphinx
yeah.
looking in the direction of the star Regulus, like as if they...
Same with this Space Operations Command, Space Delta 18.
Yeah.
You got the Sphinx looking up at a star.
With the same shape of the paper airplane looking thing.
Right.
As
yeah, it's got all the same elements in it.
All the same elements except for and it's got the globe. The body of the Sphinx is the globe. Interesting. it's not coincidence. There's something. There's hidden symbology all throughout history. There's no reason we wouldn't find it now, and there's no reason that these massive government programs are. It's no coincidence that these government programs are also using symbology.
Yeah.
So,
and then
it's all worth a look.
Red Panda Koala says on his tweet about this, he says, "The Sphinx has his eyes on the red star of Regulus. Wonder what they know." That's a quote. Chris Bledsoe posts 2 National Space Intelligence Center emblems that show the Sphinx and a star. Bledsoe claims the lady told him that when the star of Regulus was in front of the Sphinx, Easter 2026 would be the return of new knowledge and potentially Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
And then he posts the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to happen this year. I'm very open to see what's going to happen. I mean, could be nothing.
Do you think it's just going to be some big event? Or do you think it's going to be more subtle?
I would welcome either, but I also think that it's going to be more subtle. Like, honestly, I think it's going to be like if it's anything, it'll be a subtle shift in the way that we are able to collectively think about things.
Mm.
So potentially just like an awakening of a sense or a inert, like maybe telepathy or some sort of form of like, you know, astral projection or like something that like gets people like at night when they're sleeping, like into the
this is also like that, the year, you know? That we're getting the Disclosure Day movie.
Yep. The Steven Spielberg Day of Disclosure.
Yeah. And then someone posted on the same chain Twitter thread here, said, "Remember when Elizondo's Sock Puppet X account told us to enjoy the next 7 years while we can, which would be 2028. Wonder what he thinks he knows or if he's purposely pushing fear." So it's got a screen cap of this Twitter post says, 7 more years, folks. Enjoy yourselves while you can.
And what is it that he posts? That he puts a link in there? Is that
It's a picture, yeah.
Or is it? Because I'm wondering what he's referencing. Because like,
yeah, right.
You know, obviously he's referencing something there.
Pretty interesting though. But again, like it's so hard to take these like specific date predictions too seriously, like after 2012 and like anytime anyone predicts like a specific date, it never seems to have anything happen then. But then again, Chris Bledsoe's kind of a unique character.
Yeah. And
he's
also
had some
we
unique
don't
experiences.
Like I think that there is like these predictions and like I think I can't remember who it might have been. Chris Bledsoe in his early interviews that we covered from our last episode, from our episodes on him. But I lost my train of thought. But shoot, it seems like it's going to be some sort of like large scale. Or I guess I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say. It seems like the dates that they put on things are ever changing, and it's more of like this is when the feeling or the shift might happen.
Yeah,
and they don't like the hard dates are like we've heard 2027, 2028, 2025, 20. You know, like I feel, and even Bashar talked about it. How like this is when. I think it was one of Bashar's episodes too that I'm thinking about, where he talks about how like the disclosure between the actual entities and us is going to happen during a time when we're more open to the idea of it, and we're able to like shift our frequency. So if maybe this is like an event where our frequency of the earth shifts, and so now we're able to access different abilities or interact with the different entities on a different frequency.
Yeah, I mean, it's like some of the big major world phenomenons, I think, that are contributing towards things shifting. It seems like the UFO topic is getting a lot more credible work done in it. You got people like Chris Bledsoe, what's her name?
Diana Pasolka.
She's got a new book coming out this summer.
I definitely want to read that.
Yeah, her last 2 books were great, so I can't wait for another one.
Yeah.
Also, you have the telepathy tapes.
Yep. They're going to have a documentary coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually watch these tests.
Right. So you got people's minds kind of being open from that. You got all the different whistleblowers and like Jake Barber's contributing in the whistleblowing by bringing the psi element to it.
And going straight to the top within Congress and the House.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got all this like weird stuff with the government and the Epstein stuff and like people are
AI,
right? Things. There's so many interesting.
We're at a tipping point. There's a thing where like we're gonna get to a point where like something just breaks.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the sort of foundations of like what we have as our background information that we build the civilizations on are like changing, you know,
very rapidly too.
Yeah. And so
the trust in the political stability of most countries is kind of up for debate. And there's a lot of protests going on around the world. There's, the potential for some sort of earth-shattering discovery happening at any moment.
Yeah, not to mention the pyramid scans.
Right. And then you got wars that are potentially popping up between countries and like all these things, and the talk of all the capabilities of these crafts and how they're, these potential, the UFOs potentially having the ability to like stop nuclear war. Like, it's interesting. It's all crazy. It's all converging on the next 2 years.
Dude, it kind of makes me wonder that whether the only thing that saved us from a nuclear war was UFOs in the first place,
Like maybe we actually pushed the button, and that's the secret that these governments are keeping.
Is that we can't, like, nuclear war is not actually on the table anymore.
Right.
Ooh. And they know it.
And they can't say anything about it because, and we haven't got to the point where we're just openly talking about aliens, and they don't want to admit that they don't have the power over their people. Yeah. Because if they're not able to protect us, then the whole point of their existence is up for debate.
Right.
So then those things start crumbling.
There's a lot of things contributing to things that could come to play this year. So,
and if we get some more open details about anything from our past, recent past, 40s, 50s.
So speaking of which, why don't we check this out real quick? So Jahhanah James posted on her channel, which if you're not following her channel, it's great. It's called Funny Old World. Here, I'll show you guys.
Old spelled OLDE.
So let's just watch a snippet of this. But she's interviewing Trevor Grassi. Have you heard of him?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's one of these. Last name. Yeah, he's one of these like researchers.
That go on these trips with these people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's check this out.
All right.
Hi guys, welcome back to this little impromptu video, like a stepping stone for my return to YouTube from maternity leave. If you didn't know, I had a baby, and so that's why I've not been making videos for the last 7 months, 6 months. When did I have a baby? 6 months ago. But I really wanted to connect with Trevor Grassi. He is the dude who first connected with me, and he let me know about the stuff that was under the pyramid. And he has some new information, mainly about the Hawara pyramid, like the lost labyrinth of Egypt, excavations and like sustainable rescue, like rescue archaeology, I think it's called, which is so cool. So I'm just waiting for Trevor to join the call, and we're going to have a chit chat about like literally, I think this information was released yesterday. It's and then I'm going to give it a quick edit, and this is what you're watching right now. Quick tipple. Like my dog just passed out in the background there. Maybe I should turn my lights on. That's better. Okay. The baby, I'm literally watching her on the live cam. I think we're all right. This might have to be an ASMR chat. Quick little 101 on
super
the Lost
relatable
Labyrinth,
for you.
if you're not
Super
sure
relatable,
about.
man.
Hawara
My
Pyramid,
gosh.
which is in the Fayum in Egypt, is the said location for the Lost Labyrinth of Egypt. This historically documented location of an incredible labyrinth. We're talking thousands of underground chambers, complex rat runs of corridors and rooms,
Different elevations.
potential tombs of the earliest pharaohs. We've got historical records claiming the legend of this labyrinth goes back into antiquity, potentially even before the dynastic Egyptians themselves. The problem is that nowadays there's nothing but sand that's outside the pyramid of Hawara, and it looks a little bit sorry for itself because it's a mud brick pyramid that's kind of melted into the desert. But in the last 20 years, there has been multiple projects scanning using various different technologies, scanning underground, and all of them have correlating data to show that there is in fact structures underneath the surface of what's going on. Now, why we can't just pick up a spade and get to it, it's way more complicated than that. Not only is there a lot of red tape and Egyptian permission granting, which is a very hard thing to do, the whole of the area is flooded by the local water table, largely to do with a canal that was installed in the 18th century, and Egypt's big dam that they built in the 70s, which has completely changed the landscape's water table and has now flooded both the main pyramid and all of the surrounding area. And the scans are showing that the first few sub-levels of the labyrinth are in fact water filled. So it's going to cost millions and be quite a big technical job. But we can announce today that it is happening. It is approved.
No way.
And Hawara is going to be rescued. Let's get into it.
No way.
Yeah, this
Dude,
awesome
right?
version that's finally publicly sanitized and ready. And I just talked with him, a couple times quickly over the last week. He let me know what I can say and what I should hold back on.
Okay.
There's some stuff we can't talk about publicly.
So the idea they've got like the short-term plan, medium-term plan, and the long-term plan to rescue Hawara.
Yeah. Originally, it looked a little bit more like he was going to be able to go for the complete rerouting of the canal from the start, which would be amazing, but it's a lot more expensive. But in this version, he's kind of put that more in the long-term goals, but patching it up initially and then rerouting it eventually. A bunch of different pages. This is the new Hawara page we just put up with all this information about all the past ones.
Yeah.
Scanning projects and stuff that I sent you yesterday. So you've probably seen this. And then, but I figure we can kind of run through this one quickly, kind of read the introduction and conclusion and cover just briefly, just run through some of the.
Because they're like name dropping like some big players. You've got 2 British universities, Gem Museum, Cairo University. Like this is a legit excavation.
Yeah, this is really, you've got Dr. Abbas Muhammad Abbas. He's my dude. He's the man. He's the most amazing. He's the guy who did all these GPR scans of the plateau with Bill Brown in 2006 that I've been bringing attention to. And he did all the original GPR scans with Lewis back then. And Athanatos, these are some friends that are sponsoring some pretty good projects.
Obviously, they've been completely convinced by the scans, by the satellite scans that have come out from the different independent satellite scans. And they've gone enough that they've gone, we're backing this. We're going to put time and money and effort and a lot of money. Because also as well, just to like rehash just how complicated it is, because where Hawara is, because of the water table's completely changed since was it the 70s they put the dam in?
Yeah, I think it has more to do with when the original canal was placed there, which was like 1820, but
Right, okay.
it is
But
possible the dam had changed things as well. And so, yeah, we can get into that. Like, they're going to do more borehole drillings and, see exactly where the water levels are right now all throughout that area.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got this is Lewis's new website, a few tabs open here, and this is a separate one just for Mission Hawara.
Mhm.
But these are some of the older reports. Like this is the original Polish one from Bill's team, where like they had done these boreholes all around the pyramid and the labyrinth to test the water levels then back in 2008. And these were some of the soil samples. But this is like one piece of the puzzle that no one's ever really added to it. Even Ben, I've been telling him to add this in here. Like when they dug down on the corner of the pyramid, they actually found the original stone corner of the pyramid way underground.
Dang.
And that was the final straw that made Zahi kick him out. Because they weren't supposed to discover how much bigger it really is than everyone thinks. It goes way down underground.
Because the pyramid, the one that's kind of there, it's mud brick, isn't it? So it's all kind of dissolved. But then there's the megalithic core. So that'd be like the original core of the pyramid, and it's way bigger.
Yeah, check this out. So the black square is the footprint of the mud brick existing pyramid.
Above ground.
And then below that, going underground, is this bigger pink square of the actual pyramid below that.
Whoa. So and Hawara is way further south of Cairo, right? From the map they showed.
So if we pull up
and that's where the labyrinth is.
Reap. Yeah, so if we go here into Egypt, there's Cairo.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is called the Fayum region.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the labyrinth and this pyramid is.
Hawara.
Yeah. Hawara, maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the area.
Yeah, zoom in on that if you can, on the pyramid. Yeah, so that's pretty big above ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes even further, and it would go even right up to that canal.
Yeah, so you'll see this in the video, but essentially what they want to do is they want to reroute this canal so it comes further away.
Yeah, so it doesn't flood that area.
So that, much. Yeah, it's not. And before they do that, they were talking about patching up the
side of it.
The side of it so that there's less water leaking into the ground.
But that's only... it shows the labyrinth right there. Nice.
Yeah, that's cool, huh? Yeah, let's keep going here.
Okay.
Like this is the pyramid you see, and the outer one is actually how big it is. So the mud brick is either, which I don't really think the decomposed core of the pyramid where the stones have been removed as the outer bit, but that doesn't make as much sense to me as that probably the full stone pyramid is underneath the mud brick, and that's just a protective covering over it.
Or a later, like a later rehash of an older pyramid, because the theory that a lot of pyramid foundations are older and then they were like reworked. But
yeah, and Dr. Schock and his wife Katie, they have come out with this whole idea that the mud brick in many places in Egypt is just to protect it, like Göbekli Tepe, an intentional burial, basically. These were all the GPR lines that Bill did back in 2008. While Lewis was scanning the labyrinth further south, Bill was scanning all these outer edges. which they didn't even realize he was GPR scanning into the pyramid itself because he was actually on top of it.
Oh
But they
yeah,
couldn't
of course, because he's what he thinks he's doing under, but he's doing inside the pyramid. Okay, that's really cool. That's really cool.
So these are, nobody's really added all these GPR scans he and the Polish team did into the equation. That right there, that's the entrance to the labyrinth. That's the entrance off the side of the pyramid. This is the shaft that goes down. We've known about it since 2009. We know how to get into the labyrinth. And we know this goes down to the chambers that are already not flooded, that are below the flooded ones.
Oh yes, because in the scans they said that like the water table is flooded to like a level, but then the ones under that look like it's water free.
Yeah.
So
that's what Carmen Bolter figured. You know,
so there's ones below the water table too. So they were the ones that
were flooded and the red were not.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh wow. So the water is still up pretty high, so everything below it is still accessible. So if you're able to cut into
presuming there's not like a pathway that can cause the water to leak from the higher ones to the lower ones, but yeah.
But then you can like create like maybe even they're like it looks like they're showing up into the pyramid. There's a way to get in. So if you're able to get into those red lower areas, from some other direction, you can go at least explore those.
Yeah, I wonder where the shaft he's talking about is on this depiction, or
I'm wondering where that metallic object is.
Right, right.
I did a video on this because I found these scans, maybe these ones. I found these ones maybe 2 years ago now, and I did a video because Hawara and the Lost Labyrinth. I think it's this and the Osirian are my two favorite sites, more than Giza pyramids. These are my two favorite passion loves. And I did a video on it, and it kind of was like, I mean, it went out there, but nothing really happened. And I was just like, hey, it's real. It's real data. Why are major news outlets not picking up on these images and going, this is insane. It's there's
absolutely
miles of
dude, yeah, look where it lays in relation to the canal.
Mm-hmm. It's like the canal was built right on top of it.
Yeah, like it needs to, if they cut it out here, that probably will go a long way.
Tunnels under there.
Yeah, I mean, it's big enough to stick half the temples in Egypt inside of it.
Yeah.
That's down here. And I think, it's like there's been so few people that are really getting it. Like, we're about to announce some of the biggest news in the history of archaeology today.
Yeah. But that's insane.
I don't know why it's being choppy and slow right now. But
part of the rescue mission, they say they're going to clear this tunnel and send divers in to photograph and document all inside the pyramid.
That has already happened, supposedly, but they haven't released a report yet. But I've heard some divers already went in because all these stones needed to be cleared, at least just to get a submersible drone into there even.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
And here's some footage of the canal. We can just look at the canal. They're going to start by sealing up the base of it with some cement and eventually, hopefully, reroute it.
In the short term, so what they want to try and do between now and a year is secure baseline data, legal governance and setup, website communication, launch the Hawara mission, drone photogrammetry for site-wide mapping, LiDAR scanning of the pyramid exterior, cleaning the pyramid entrance shaft, diver exploration, they might have already done that, geophysical survey, more boreholes, especially across the labyrinth south zone. Nice. Hydro monitoring, vegetation buffer, security. Yeah, because obviously this site is going to attract loads of buzz, so need to make sure that you can secure it. Cool. Real cool. 1 to 5 years. Yeah, it's really about sorting the water and the drainage.
Mm-hmm.
Lining the canal with concrete and.
Anyway,
so
this is pretty cool stuff, dude. It's pretty exciting.
We were talking about like how they just need to get on this thing, man, because we're only losing more, and they're getting on it. I mean, it seems like it's going to be like a decade, and we might be able to get some exploration down there. But it sounds like earlier we might get some images.
Yeah, if some of the diving has already happened, it'd be interesting to see the reports that come of that.
Yeah. That's going to be cool. I mean, and again, it's controlled by the Egyptian government, so we know how they like to time their releases of information. If divers and stuff have already been in there.
I don't know who's fully in control anymore now that Zahi Hawass is like basically retired. I don't know if he still has like control or not.
So maybe things will change. Maybe there's hope there. Then
maybe there is. I mean, they go on to talk about like part of this project is to build this into a tourist area with visitor centers and museums and everything.
Yeah, generating income so that they can maintain the site.
Yeah, and Trevor makes the point that he thinks this could like double the tourism potential of Egypt. A site like this.
It could be worth putting the money in foundation and infrastructure and around it to draw in more tourism into that area specifically and not just in Cairo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in general,
that's a good plan. I mean,
that make Egypt a lot more appealing to go to.
Yeah. No kidding.
Not that it already doesn't.
I want to go already, but this would be even better. You add another couple days onto your trip and go down to Hawara and check out the Labyrinth and go walk down the corridors and see what was down there.
Dude.
It's a dream. I want to do it.
I mean, if it's as big as they say it is, like you might need weeks just
to go explore. I mean, obviously, I don't think we would explore every little nook and cranny of the place, but as much as we can to get a good grip on what it is that we're seeing there. I'd love to go there and go to Peru, go to different places.
Peru's on my list for sure. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. Looks like we're over, or unless you want to just go over a couple more things and then we can end it.
Yeah, I mean, we could dip into one of these other videos I brought or maybe even call it because these might take up the rest of our time anyway. But let's go over these next week then.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us this week. We're going to do our best to be on a normal schedule moving forward. You know, unforeseen things to the side, but you know. If you guys like the episodes and you appreciate it, go and like and subscribe on any of the platforms you might be listening to us on. We're on pretty much everything.
Your podcasts.
Yeah, you can check our website out. It's dualitycheck.net, and you guys can find every episode. You can listen to it on our website. And you guys can go and click on these tags on the right side here, and it'll give you the topics that we are mostly covering. The bigger the tag, the more often we talk about it. But if you click on something, it'll show every video that we talk about that specific subject. And it's a good resource if you guys are enjoying the content. If you guys want to watch the video podcast and you guys want to see our faces, see our new studio, and you guys can check us out on YouTube or Rumble. If you guys can like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and Rumble, that would be very helpful and
absolutely
helping us get out to more people.
We could use some reviews on iTunes to help other people know to check out our podcast as well. So if you're listening through just Apple Podcasts, leave us a review if you don't mind.
That would be helpful. Give more people onto the podcast.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you next week.
Adios, people.
Later.